All right, I'm recording this while the baby is asleep, so don't interrupt me. All right, check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ajay Patel Show. My name is Ajay Patel, and we're slowly getting back on schedule. I told you guys it would be bumpy a bit, but I appreciate you guys listening nonetheless. Welcome back. I think we're on episode 94. Episode 94. Now, before you say it, I know what I look like right now. If you're listening to this on audio, let me just go ahead and say, keep listening to this on audio. Do not go to the YouTube channel. Do not look at the shorts. Don't open Instagram this week. How about that? Because boy, look, I'm sleeping all right, but like I've been drooling a lot. This mustache of mine, bro, I don't know how to maintain this thing. And look, I've had it for like 6 weeks, so I'm still getting used to it. And I really don't understand how my dad did it for this long. Why is this bitch muted? I'll fucking lose my mind if it's muted. Okay. I think we're still good. Yeah, I don't know how my dad did it. Growing up, I do not know what my dad looks like without a mustache, if that makes sense. And then I was just thinking like, damn, did this dude really maintain his mustache all these years, right? The 30 years that I've known him. Has he really 31 years? I know I keep fucking shaving age now, but he's maintained this all this time. Like he was always a well put together dude, like when it comes to that stuff, he's put together to the T. He shaves every morning, 5 a.m. Clothes are always ironed. He always would make sure our clothes were ironed. Every Sunday, that man would collect all the clothes. He'd just go room to room, collecting clothes, and then just be ironing them. Watching football, not a thought in mind, just ironing clothes. Our clothes used to be so pristinely ironed. I used to go to school and this one girl thought I was gay. She thought I was gay. Her and her dad. I don't know why her dad was discussing this with her. Maybe she had a crush on me, but she legitimately thought I was gay. And I didn't realize like how well, in my head, it was like, oh, okay, everyone's dad's ironing their clothes. This is just what it is. And then as you grow up and you see people more and more with wrinkled clothes, and then they kind of just leave the house, especially in college. Ooh, you really tell the difference in college when people just leave in the house with a little wrinkled shirt, or they do the whole bullshit of throwing it in the dryer with some ice cubes. And it's like, no, like I know what that looks like. I know what the ice cube shirt looks like versus like a hot piece of metal that's hitting that shirt with a little steam. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to iron a shirt and you are a grown ass man, if you don't know how to iron a shirt and you are a grown ass man right now, that's embarrassing, bro. Like you are the type of dude that I keep trying to defend out here. I'm fighting battles out here because I get together with my wife and her friends sometimes, and they be talking shit. They be talking shit like no other. They be like, man, these men, and look, half the time, more than half the time, I agree with them. It's kind of tough, but the other half, I'm trying to defend y'all. Coming back to my dad, I have no idea how he used to maintain his mustache this much. He was a pretty well put together dude, don't get me wrong. The weirdest thing he did was he had this one nail. Like he went to the mall, and I guess like Pablo hit on him, and he was like, hey, do you want me to like shine your nail? It was really strange. He had this one shiny nail. All his nails perfectly cut. And then this one nail was just shiny and it was long. And he used it to scratch the scratch. He legitimately used it to he would buy the scratchers from the gas station, and you'd be like, hey, do you have a coin? And he would give you a coin, and you would see that he's not using a coin because he's using his shiny nail. Look, I don't give him enough shit for it, but my man, he legitimately used his nail. It was the strangest thing about him. And now when we bring it up, he acts like, oh, that never happened. Like, bro, what do you mean? Like, I remember the dude at Taco Bell hitting on you because you gave him your credit card and you had a shiny nail. Like, anyways, coming back to me, this mustache, bro, if anybody has any tips on how to maintain this thing is gnarly right now. Like, bro, look at this. I got a tape measure right here. Look at that shit. I don't know what to do. And people say, go to the barber. It's like, bro, I'm not going to keep paying $70. I'm not going to keep paying $70 so the barber can literally just line my shit up for a day. That shit lasts a day. I think I need to get like a straight edge. Nonetheless, welcome back. It's been a while since we last spoke. How was the Super Bowl? Did you enjoy the Super Bowl? Huh? Did you enjoy the Kid Rock halftime performance? Huh? The real halftime performance. Look, if you watch that halftime performance, if you watch the Kid Rock halftime performance, bro, you are weird. You are weird. You are wearing the tinfoil hat, as they say. You have gotten too deep into this political shit and this internet nonsense where you're just weird, bro. You're weird. The lady killed her husband. The lady had her husband shot. I'm believing all the conspiracy theories. I believe that she had her husband killed more than I believe we've actually been on the moon. If you're watching that halftime show, you're weird, bro. There were TikToks of people at the Bad Bunny show at the Super Bowl while Bad Bunny was on, and they had their phone open watching the other halftime show. It's disrespectful to even call that a halftime show. I get it. The dude is not like some small artist. I was going back watching some old halftime shows, and I think it was 2004, 2005 when Justin Timberlake ripped off Janet Jackson's tit guard, and a titty was out on Super Bowl, and that was the biggest story the next day. This thing owned the news network for at least a couple months. In that same halftime performance, there was Nelly and P. Diddy and Kid Rock. And you would have never thought, like, that was honestly a great halftime performance. You had the black, you had the white, you had this rock music, you had rap music, then you had Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, where it's like, hey, we don't really know what color they are. We don't know really what color they are. That's what actually represents America. You have Janet Jackson, who's a black woman, but it's like, you know what? I think you could pass for white if we needed you to. And then you got Justin Timberlake, where it's a white guy, but it's like, hey, you could pass for black if we wanted you to. All these halftime shows coming back to our good old friend Bad Bunny. Now, look, I told you guys, I'm not the biggest Bad Bunny fan, but that was a good show. That was a good show. I didn't understand a word, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think people are getting too tied to this whole, I need to understand what he's saying shit. It's like, yo, there's literally people shaking their butt on TV, whether you're into guys, whether you're into girls. Hey, look, if you're into guys, they had a specific little cutscene for that. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. But if you're into guys, if you're into girls, there's literally ass shaking on the TV. And you over here worried about, what do these lyrics mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a good show at the end of the day. The dude is a top 3. The dude is currently a top 3, right? It's not like they just found fucking some random Hispanic artist and they were like, hey, we just really want to piss America off. This dude is a top 3. He is up there with T Swizzy and Drizzy Drake Rogers. And they gave him a halftime show. It makes sense. And look at the numbers behind him. This dude, 128.2 million average viewers tuned in for that Bad Bunny's halftime show, making it the 4th most watched Super Bowl halftime show. That figure trails only Kendrick Lamar, 2025, 133.5 million, and then Michael Jackson in 93 at 133.4 million. Number 3 was Usher in 2024, 129.3 million. You're not beating Michael Jackson. And the Kendrick one, let's be honest, everybody was just waiting for him to say Drake's name. And then Usher is Usher, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you gonna be Usher? And so it's like, you have this amazing show, and then people bitching for no reason. I'm so happy that he didn't fall into any of this shit. Like, he just did his thing. He put on a good show. He had the American flag leading the pack. It was a good show. It was a good show. Now, don't get me wrong. Was this the best show in the last, of all time? I don't know. All time, I don't know. Probably a top 5 show of the last decade. Maybe. I've been asking people around, and a lot of people loved the Dr. Dre one in LA. That was a pretty good one. You had 50 Cent come out. You had Eminem come out. You had Kendrick Lamar come out. Mary J. Blige come out. Snoop Dogg come out. It's hard to beat that. How do you beat that many people? Behind that, I would maybe put Usher. The Weeknd wasn't that good. I was a big fan of Justin Timberlake. And then like the Coldplay one was really good, but I think that's more than 10 years ago now, right? Like, this is what actually, no, 2016, maybe. I think those were for the 50th anniversary. Anyways, coming back to the whole point of, like, people need to just relax. It was a good halftime show. And I just want to make a public statement right here and say, just give Chris Brown the next year. Just give it to Chris Brown while he can still do this dance and acrobatic shit that he can do. Don't give it to him when he's 45. Because you're going to give it to him when he's 45 and people are going to be like, oh, like, this is going to be disappointing. And then he's going to come out there and not do a backflip and people are going to be like, see? And it's like, yeah, the brother's 48. What are you going to do about that? Give this brother Chris Brown a halftime show while he still can do the flipping and the fucking flying around the arena. Like, just give it to him, bro. Nobody, look, even if let's say this. If Rihanna says, yeah, you know what, Chris Brown should have a halftime show, would we be good then? Would we be good? Like, does that make sense? Would we be good? Some of y'all have some dudes in your lives that have done less to you, have done more to you, have done a lot worse to you, and you still have them in your lives. You would give them a halftime show. You would buy them tickets. You'd buy them tickets to the Super Bowl right now if they asked you. Some of you guys watch Tell Me Lies. Yeah, I saw that shit too. Look, I was like, Isha, why are you watching this college porn? And then you start thinking, you start thinking about people. Like, you know what? This girl that's getting abused and is just reluctant for punishment really reminds me of someone. You don't want to say that someone's name, but it really reminds you of a someone. And some of those girls, some of those guys, let's make it no sex applied to it. Some of those people are the ones that don't want Chris Brown to have a halftime show. Cut it out, bro. Anyways, what else is going on in more modern day time is this shit happening in Mexico. This shit happening in Mexico is actually a big deal, bro. Like, apparently, and I pulled up some stuff here so that I can just reference it directly. On February 22nd, Mexican federal forces carried out a major operation in/near Tapala, Jalisco, that killed Nemesio Ruben Osuera Cervantes, aka El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG. After this dude was killed, roadblocks, vehicle fire, arson, and attacks on security forces across multiple states were reported based on retaliation. February 23rd, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum urged calm and said, obviously you're going to fucking try to get calm. Look, whatever. The chaos is basically, they killed the leader. They killed this mob boss leader. They killed El Jefe. You know, I get it. His name's El Mencho, but El Jefe. And they started lighting shit up. There's a handful of people that I saw on my feed that are not stuck in Mexico, but some of them are in Cabo, some of them are in Puerto Vallarta. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks of people being stuck there now, people being at the airport, and there's like a live shooting. Like, this is a big deal what's happening right now. It's pretty fucking scary, especially for, like, I would say American tourists, especially people that live in Texas. Mexico in general is a hot spot because you can just hop over there in 3 hours. And this could have happened any single time. Now, a lot of my questions was like, who's responsible? Now, directly responsible for the unrest was CJNG operatives carrying out coordinated retaliation. Sorry, that's for the, retaliation part. But for the event, the Mexican military federal forces with U.S. intelligence support. See, the U.S. always got to be involved, bro. And there's an angle. There's an angle. Like, what if Mexico, what if this actually happens? Like, what if in the next 5 years, let's make it 3 years while we have big boy Donnie in the office. What if we take over Mexico? I don't want that to happen. I do not want that to happen. But what if that happens? Right? You just kind of, you kill their leader, you send things into a frenzy, and then you just send your National Guard in there, you take over the streets, and then next thing you know, you say, hey, you know what? We're doing most of the work here. Let's just fully take over. I want to repeat, I don't want that. Did I want the Gulf of America? Yeah, I did. I wanted the Gulf. I don't want the entire Mexico. I just wanted the Gulf. But it's not a crazy thought. No, we're already, there's all these talks about taking over Greenland. We took over the oil in Venezuela. I mean, we're about to take over the oil in Venezuela. Now, why not just take this country to the south? Everyone keeps talking about Canada. I don't want no Canada. It's 100,000. It's negative 80,000 degrees over there. Who wants Canada? We got Drake. Let's go get Mexico. It's nice. All these all-inclusive, we can change the ticket from $300 to $1,000. And now instead of these workers making $50 a week, they can make $10. And then we'll increase their living wage. We'll kick them out of the resort. Ooh. And then we'll say, hey, but you can have unlimited vacation with manager's approval. This is the crazy shit. Like, where are Indian people supposed to get married? With the unrest that's happening in Mexico right now, where are Indian weddings supposed to happen if it's not in Mexico? Now, a lot of the confusion around some of this stuff was none of this stuff is happening in Cabo right now. Puerto Vallarta is a decent, it's a decent distance away, probably about a 12-hour drive. Or 12 to 20 hour. I couldn't remember the exact distance that I saw, but a lot of this shit's popping off on Puerto Vallarta. A beautiful place. I've been to Puerto Vallarta, Punta Mita. It's a fun time. It's a great time. Honestly, there's different areas, right? I think I told you guys about like the Gabrielville there. And all of this shit is popping off over there. People in Cabo right now don't even see a thing. It doesn't feel any type of different. And so look, for anyone questioning, like summer's coming up. Maybe you did have a wedding scheduled and you're thinking like, hey, should I go to Mexico? Like, maybe not. Maybe no for now. And look, the random violence. I don't know if it's just cartel retaliation, if it's also the people hitting the streets, like what's going on. Because of course, if you're in Mexico and you see like, oh, the U.S. was involved in this and that, you might want to be hitting the streets. The U.S. does that. The U.S. hates its own people. The biggest thing is, look, the thing that I love about this, and this is going to be a little controversial, maybe not. The thing that I love about this retaliation and Mexican people in general is that Mexican people follow through. Like, if they say they're going to do some shit, they're doing that shit, bro. It's true. It's true. Growing up, look, a lot of the people that would do any type of labor work were Hispanic. I grew up in Irving, Texas. That shit was pretty much 50% Hispanic people there. We're going to talk about the issue in Frisco in a second, but 50% Hispanic people. And anytime you would hire them to do anything, whether it's your bathtub, whether it's the yard, whether it's fucking painting the inside or the outside of the house, they might be a little bit late. They might show up on their own schedule, take a couple smoke breaks, maybe do a little bit of a sloppy job, but they do the job. You can't say the same thing about Indian people. You know the number of times we try to get illegal Indian channels at the house, or we tried to, install some type of firewall on the laptop using some type of free software from some Indian person. Every single time we've hired some Indian person, they don't follow through. They might give you a good price. They might say, yeah, you know what? I'll do it for free. I'll do it for $5. I'll do it for $15. And then next thing you know, the TV's broken. The laptop's all messed up. Indian people don't really follow through like that, especially on some good scams. But a Hispanic person, it doesn't have to be a scam. It's just good work. They follow through. They'll tell you, hey, if you kill El Mencho, I'm going to fucking set this place on fire. And that's what you gotta love. Anyways, on to our next story, which is just basically, before our two stories is me just talking about what's going on. We're about 20 minutes in. We got like maybe 10, 15 minutes left. I'm chilling, bro. I'm big chilling, man. We've slowly gotten into a routine of things. You know what I'm saying? We're slowly leaving the house more with baby, getting used to a certain feed schedule, starting to get to like a point where it's like, all right, we'll feed baby at this hour, and then we can go do this at this time. And then, all right, maybe this happens, and we'll pack a bottle if we do this. And then my wife's starting to get her mobility back. She's starting to pump and feed it. And she's starting to operate on a different cadence. And now I'm trying to figure out how to get used to that and me back up a little bit. Because, look, your boy's just a little controlling. I'm going to go ahead and say your boy's just a little bit controlling. If I see a situation, I feel like I got to own the situation. So what I've been trying to do more of is just not look. Try to go to the gym. Try to go run errands. Try to get out the house. You know what I'm saying? Like just get away for a bit. And look, we're still slowly starting to get into a rhythm of things. I wonder if my new tick is this, hey, and look. I forget what I was doing before. Boy, oh boy, maybe. Anyways, look. we're slowly starting to get into a rhythm of things, getting things slowly organized in the house and just figuring out like how much of this shit do we actually need, bro? How much of this shit do we actually need in life? Do we need a pack and play? Do we need this activity gym to put the baby on the ground so then they can slap things up above them? Like, at what point can we just, maybe just put a blanket on the ground, put the baby down there? Do we need these changing pads? Do we need another diaper pail? Do we need this bassinet? Do we need to get this specific type of bottle? A lot of this shit, and we're kind of going day by day now. We have an appointment for the baby's vaccinations are coming up soon. And so then it's like, now should we start flying places? Okay, what stuff do we got to buy for travel? And so I can understand how it becomes kind of nonstop, like you just always rotating shit in and out. But this is where we're currently at. And look, it's February 24th. Happy Black History Month, right? Hey, how do we feel about that? No? Yeah. If you want to see something, you go to Target. They have the best Black History Month sales ever. Look at Gavin Newsom talking shit. Look at that fool talking about, yeah, I scored a 640 on my SATs. I'm just like you guys. What? Bro, what? There's no way this shit is real, bro. They took away the N-word, but instead you can say shit like that. I would much rather have had Gavin Newsom say the N-word up there than say, hey, you guys get 640s on your SATs just like me. Bro, I almost got a 640. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was embarrassing for me. Like, you can't say the N-word anymore, but you can say that? That's crazy to me, bro. Anyways, coming back to the point is, we're just living life. We're just living life. I'm going to try to get this. Well, I say this a lot, so I'm just going to just relax for a second. But get this podcasting rolling a little bit more. I got to just get friends on here, get a little bit more content, be more regular, and then just go from there. Now, the two other quick stories I had. Damn, I wanted to talk about the J. Cole album. Okay, quick little thing about the J. Cole album. I think it's pretty solid. I think if you don't like this album, you don't know how to listen to music, bro. I think, look, the thing you got to do is just tune out the noise, tune out the haters, and just put on some headphones. Put on some headphones, have a drink, have a smoke, go to the car and listen to the album. Stop listening with two headphones or trying to, do chores and do the dishes and shit while you're trying to listen to the album. You just have a drink, have a smoke. I get in the car. Do both. You don't have to drive anywhere crazy, right? Just go to like a Walmart parking lot and just go up and down. Just go up and down and then, feel the album. Everyone keeps talking about, music isn't made the same. Music isn't made the same. It's like, bro, no. You just don't enjoy music the same. If I asked you what your favorite music was right now, more than likely you're going to say some shit that came out while you were in college, right? If you're probably like you went to college around 2012, 2013, you got a lot of the 2011 greatness that rolled over, right? You have the Watch the Throne, you have Take Care, probably Young ASAP in the game, the trilogy tunes. For me, it's the same stuff, right? I get to college. Nothing was the same. You get Kanye's Life of Pablo album. You get J. Cole, Forest Hill Drives. Like, these are the albums that made up my college life. You have Kendrick's Damn that came out. And before Damn, I think it was Not to Pimp a Butterfly, Section 80. Like, some of these albums where it's like, these were the best albums of my life, is because I experienced them differently. Right? You're drinking every single night from Thursday to Sunday night. You're going out. You're listening to this shit with everyone. You're singing along. You're playing beer pong, missing the last cup 30 times. But you're saying, came up, that's on me. Stay true, that's on me. No friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, you used to experience music like that differently. Now you're just putting an AirPod in and doing dishes. Now you're just putting an AirPod in and vacuuming. Bro, you can't even hear. The vacuum is in the other ear. You're listening to the album like this. You can't even hear the album correctly. I'm telling y'all, bro, this music is still good out here. Not every track is great on that J. Cole album. That thing probably could have been cut in half. He tried to do the Chris Brown route. And do 45 songs. You're not Chris Breezy. It's okay. You're not Chris Breezy. The album could have been cut down to half. And that shit probably would have been an absolute banger. But the album's solid. The PR that he's doing to try to promote the album with the whole driving around in a '09 Honda Civic, that's a little strange. No, I mean, I think it's kind of cool, but like, you're J. Cole, bro. Like, why not just drive around in a cool ass car? You're picking up fans, driving them around. Also, be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're starting to find out a little Epstein-y stuff about everyone. Let's just relax picking people up. Maybe you only pick up old people. That'd be pretty cool. I didn't see you checking IDs about the people getting in the car. But you're J. Cole. Why not get the Phantom? Get the Phantom. Get a cool ass pickup truck, and then just play the album out loud. Have everyone experience it like that. You gotta experience music differently, bro. Have a drink, have a smoke. Put some AirPod Maxes on, and just something that covers your ear like this, and then just enjoy the album. Just enjoy music. Anyways. Does anyone know where Nancy Guthrie is? Look, I'm going to sound a little jokey when I say this. I understand it's a very serious matter, but Nancy Guthrie, reported as the mother of NBC's Savannah Guthrie, went missing in Arizona after last being seen January 31st. Authorities say evidence indicates she was taken against her will, treated as an abduction criminal investigation rather than a simple missing persons case. Law enforcement has publicly pushed back on viral speculation and emphasized that rumor-driven content can disrupt an active investigation. The sheriff has also stated that the Guthrie family has also cleared as suspects, so the family didn't kidnap their mom or try to just get content from this. Reporting also notes investigation complexity like mixed DNA. Okay, look, basically there is a show host of Good Morning America, and someone has kidnapped her mom, who's 84 years old. I don't know if you've kept up with this or this has showed up on your social media feed, but this mom has been missing for now almost a solid month. And I've been seeing some things like it's some strange TikToks of like, sorry, I gotta charge this laptop. I've been seeing these strange TikToks of like people being like, and this is like people that work in law enforcement or people that deal with missing persons. And they say when there is someone kidnapped, they want to get this shit done as fast as possible. They don't want to just hold on to this person, right? If they kidnap you, they want to get the money, they want to give the person back and then call it a day. That's what they want to do. But for this, that's lingered on for now a month. It's gotta be like, what's going on? What's going on? And it's interesting that it's like, why her? Like out of all these people you could have kidnapped, you kidnapping the 84-year-old. Like, look, no bullshit. If you kidnap my mom's mom right now, my mom might pay you to keep her. Look, does that sound messed up, Mom? If you hear this, I'm just joking, right? This is just satirical comedy. But look, if someone, what I'm saying, just showed up to the house, gun in hand, and said, "Hey, give me your mom," you'd be like, "Hold up, let me pack you some food first, huh?" This is just jokes, Mom. Look. But that's what I'm saying, right? Like, it's so strange that in the brown community, things have kind of inversed. Right? Brown people are known for taking care of their elders, whereas white people, and let's just say white people, are known for sending their elders to the nursing home because maybe they have the money, they have the freedom, they're just like, I don't really want this emotional toll. I'm really focused on my mental health right now at this part of life, and I really think that the trauma that you've put on me since I was 16, what I'm saying, like, they just separate them. And 84 years old, I'm not saying 84 is like, all right, like you're kind of done, but like, how much are you paying for an 84? This sounds so messed up, bro. How much are you paying how much are you paying for an 84-year-old? And look, like, the kidnappers must be pissed off. They like, if you're in charge of the kidnapping ring, and they say, hey, we want you to go take the person that runs the morning show, their mom. The morning show, the morning show. Okay, yeah, the morning show. Okay, I'll go kidnap their mom. And they bring back this lady, and they say, who is this? Who is this? Oh, this is Nancy Guthrie, mother of Savannah Guthrie, the NBC Good Morning America. Who the fuck is Savannah Guthrie? who the fuck is Savannah Guthrie, bro? You told me to go take Good Morning America, brother. Uh, I I meant like the morning show, like the TV show, the Apple TV show, Jennifer Aniston. I wanted you to go kidnap her mom so we can make some money. This lady's 84 years old. I think she kind of likes being. It sounds messed up. It sounds messed up, but like if you're gonna commit crime, just I think the crime ring organization just needs some good project managers nowadays. Like I'm in data analytics. I would love to help. I'm not talking shit. Please don't kidnap my mom. But I'm just saying, like, who are you kidnapping, bro? Anyways, before I get more offensive, I wanted to talk about two last things. What's going on with all these Indians in Frisco? When my wife and I moved to Houston, why am I giggling? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, straighten up. You being sus, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, straighten up. When my wife and I moved to Texas, we had a plan to be in Houston for a little bit, and then we'd probably move over to Frisco and Dallas. And then to come to find out that they fucking hate all these Indians that are moving to Frisco. Because apparently Frisco is about 70% Indian. Bro, this shit is killing me. I really hate it when people have cats in front of their house. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be, like, when cats just be roaming around, fuck cats. Anyways, 73% Indian. Like, that is a pretty crazy stat to have that many Indians. And I'm from, like, South Irving. And North Irving is technically like that Las Colinas area. And for anyone that's been to Las Colinas, you know that has turned into an absolute little India, right? And it shows. It clearly shows. There's a bunch of Indian restaurants there now. If you go out, you see them. It's a lot of South Indians. And it follows corporate life, right? Like, if they build all these corporate buildings, and now these places like, let's say, not 7-Eleven gas station, but 7-Eleven corporate, Hilton corporate, all these corporate offices that are coming to these places, Indians follow. Indians naturally follow with corporate offices. You know why? Because we're just fucking good, bro. We fucking do anything for a little bit amount of money. We may not follow through. Like I said earlier, we may not follow through, but we work for the cheapest wages. And we come in the door and we build your app. And then you say, hey, you know what? We actually need you to tear it down and build it again. And we do it again. That 100K visa, I told you, that shit's not stopping anybody. And so if you go around Las Colinas, you see nothing but Indian people. And I haven't been to Frisco in a while, but I used to think Frisco was like the young Indian, like someone like my age that just had a kid. Okay, that family is the one that's moving to Frisco, the ones that have been kind of born in America. Come to find out, they had this influx. And I'm going to pull some stats and do it maybe the next episode on it, but just they're having this boom there. And now, like, there's town hall meetings of people being like, hey, we're not racist, but like, this is crazy. Like, this is a lot. And look, I get it. I wouldn't want to live there with that many Indians. Like, I think when white people see white people, there's like this sense of like, nice. When black people see black people, there's a sense of nice. When Indian people see Indian people, it's like, man, I fucking hate this guy. And let me redo that bit so that I can take the F word out of there. When white people see white people, it's like, nice. When black people see black people, it's like, nice. Indian people do their best to avoid other Indian people. Unless they already know you, unless there's a pre-existing relationship, Indian people don't like meeting new Indian people. It has to be at a joint event. We're already at a wedding. We're hanging out. But when an Indian dude sees another Indian dude, it's never like, oh, nice. It's like, oh, I hate this guy. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that dude knows that I'm better than him. It's true. Look, if someone disagrees with me, more than likely they're shorter than 5'5". I'm being honest, bro. Anyways, on to a more important story is the Reese's family. They've changed the chocolate in the Reese's peanut butter cups. And I guess the Hershey's company did this, and the grandson of whoever Brad Reese is, the grandson, he's upset about it. Oh, they're changing the ingredients in this classic peanut butter cup. Now, firstly, Reese's, greatest chocolate. Greatest candy there is, right? You can have your little dabble with your Sour Patch Kids, your Snickers, maybe a Hershey's bar, whatever Godiva chocolate you like. But a Reese's peanut butter cup is the best candy in the world. In the world, right? Reese's with anything also is the best. If someone gives you some ice cream and they marble slab that thing up with some Reese's peanut butter cups, that thing is amazing. If you go to Sonic and you get the Reese's Sonic Blast, that thing is amazing. Reese's is that chocolate, bro. There's nothing better than it. And to hear that they might be changing up, whatever premium peanut butter with peanut butter cream, like, it doesn't surprise me. But it's also just kind of sad. It's like, bro, they're really trying to kill us out here. They really don't want us to have anything nice. And then they want to charge more for it, right? Instead, when was the last time you saw a 2-pack of Reese's peanut butter cups? Now it's all just fucking king size, right? I'm going through the checkout line at Target. I'm like, you know what? I always get a little naughty. You know what I'm saying? I always get a little naughty. I used to buy the Hershey's white chocolate bar. And I used to eat that thing in the car and then go about my day. Now I'm always looking for let's see what they got. Normally it's a bunch of fucking Monster cans, which is like, bro, what are you doing here? Like, I'm really not that amped up. There's a Starbucks right there. I really don't need to get a Monster Energy can. I'm shopping at Target. I'm not at Home Depot. I get it. If you got the Monster Energy cans at Home Depot, I understand that. But I'm at a Target. Where's the candy? And I'm looking. I see Reese's peanut butter cups. Oh, this is perfect. But you only see the king pack. You just see this 4-pack of Reese's peanut butter cups. And it's like, bro, I don't want 4. You know what I'm saying? I want to be naughty. I don't want to kill myself. And this all comes back to this main point of just, look, we're going to die. They are going to kill us with this stuff slowly, right? These companies are slowly going to keep making cheaper clothes, cheaper food, cheaper products, cheaper cars, shittier roads. And that's just how it's going to be. We're going to die from one of those things. Cheaper healthcare, cheaper infrastructure, cheaper economy. All of this shit is made so then it's like, hey, you know what? This overcrowding problem that people are really upset about, don't worry. We figured out how to solve it. Just yesterday, I found out the Pepsi company took over Siete. Siete is like a chip brand. They make tortillas. Maybe they make salsa. They're in that game of things. And I love their chips. Ooh, if you get those for a party as the dip chip, people eat that chip and they're like, oh, this is a pretty good chip. And you always want that feeling. You don't get that with the Tostino chip. And that little Siete chip. Whether you get the scoop, whether you get the round dip chip, it's a good chip. Now with PepsiCo taking over, it's like, here we go. Now it's on to find the next chip. And then that chip's going to get acquired. That chip's going to get pumped with, petroleum oil and petroleum jelly and car lube and tire pressure fluid and bacon grease. And then it's like, hey, you know what? I don't want to eat this chip anymore. But it's important to remember, instead of getting upset about all of this, it's that one of these things is going to get us. One of these things is going to get us. I appreciate you guys for listening. It was a quick, kind of little discombobulated show, but I promise to get back on schedule. We'll bring the content game back to the shorts. I'm trying to get used to posting shorts and engaging with that. I guess I got a little political with the whole we're taking over America and people got hot about that, but content is king. Huh? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you guys all a great week. Have a good weekend. Have a good remaining February. The year is still young, so if you're behind on your goals like myself, it's all right. Just got to start today. Just got to start tomorrow. Just got to start yesterday. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. I will see you guys next week. And with that being said, goodbye.